I don't know what really, I don't know how to start this. I started off to, I wanted to do a video on some failures that I've had while I was making my bell. You should call it Michelle, huh? Michelle, my bell. That's probably a copyright thing. I probably shouldn't do that. But this turned into a video really on just general casting mistakes. I'm not going to use the word failure. It's such an ugly term. Mistakes that I made and things that I did to correct them. But I thought, it's worthwhile sharing it with you guys because, first of all, I don't want you to think I know what I'm doing. I don't. So this is going to look actually a little weird, weirder. I don't know, weird. In the respect that I tried to cast this thing, that bell, 3 times. It took me the 3rd time is when I finally got it to work. And each time I did it, I shot it and I had a failure, and then I saved the video and I went on and shot the next one and saved it to the video. So what you're about to see is sections of me along the way here talking to you as if this was going to be a success. It wasn't. But that's why it's going to look a little weird. And then I'm going to probably jump back in here and you're going to see me go from a blue sweatshirt to a brown jacket. But we can handle that. I know we can. So let's look at the first one. Fire is what I get. Yeah, well, I don't see it in the top of here, so I'm not feeling too good about me making it to the top of my bell. I'd say not only did we not make it, we really did not make it. Wow. Massive mold failure. This is what happened. I poured and all the metal came rushing out the side. My wooden box caught fire. That's why I like metal boxes, not wooden boxes. It was a mess. And after looking at this for some time and talking to a few people, I think this notion of pressure within the mold is what caused me a problem. I don't know if it's appropriate to call it hydrostatic. I'm not one of those kind of engineers because hydro seems water, but maybe hydro means fluid. I don't know. Anyway, molten metal poured in the mold. It's got pressure because of the height of the sprue. And what happened is, and I've been told by somebody who commented on the post that I did, that the specific gravity of this stuff is like 3 times that of the sand. So what I'm suspecting happened is one of 2 things. Most likely, it started to fill. The pressure inside the mold was enough that it lifted the cope up, and it lifted it up on one side, and this is where it all just blew out the one side because it didn't it didn't come out around the other side. I mean, I have a little bit of stuff here, but not a lot. It clearly came out on the top because there's my gate and runner that I cut in here, and that's in the drag. All of this stuff was between the 2 layers. The other thought I have is it's possible, I don't know, that I had something in between the 2, the cope and the drag, the actual box itself. There was a little space in there that maybe had everything lifted up. So let me show you what I'm going to do different this time. I got everything rammed up and ready to go. I didn't want to bore you with all that stuff, but let's see if I can put it over there. Get my air hose out of the way. I got lead. Now this is probably a mistake because it'll get hot enough, it'll melt my lead. But this weighs about 40-some pounds, I think, and then I got these 2 pieces of lead pipe. I'm hoping that this weight will be enough to keep anything from lifting up when I pour. All right, so let me stop right there before we get into the pour. So again, just to recap that, what happened is that mold lifted up because of the pressure inside the mold, the pressure of the metal. It lifted the mold. It was enough to lift that, have that weighty box up, and it leaked out. I should tell you that no old men were hurt during the filming of this movie. So, you know, it looks bad. It looked worse than it was. I mean, all the wood caught fire, but the metal really didn't come spewing out or anything like that. So that's what happened to that one. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and pour the second one here with all that weight on there, and we'll see what happens with this one. Oh, we made it to the top. Uh-oh. I didn't feel real whippy right there. Oh, no! That's a hole. Oh, man. Oh, man. It was so stinking close. Starting to sound a little more like a bell. Let me show you what happened with this thing and how I'm going to fix it. I think. Well, I know what went wrong. How I'm going to fix it is the I think part. All right, so let me put these on so I can see. First thing you should notice is this lip right here, and how it is sort of not on that side, but it is on this side. If we turn the bell over, what you'll see is that this right here is the rim of the bell. This is where the whole thing shifted. So what happened, because of my box, and I'll show you my box in a second. So I cast the bell in there, right? Just like this. It's kind of boom. And then inside you fill the inside. Well, I rammed all that up, took it apart, did my stuff and whatever. When I put it back together, rather than going right here, what happened is, because my box was not good, it came over here. So what we're seeing is the edge of the bell right here, the outside of the bell shifting this direction, shifting out this way, with the inside of the bell staying stationary. So because my registration was off, I got really thick over here and really thin over here. That's what happened with this bell. So let me show you the old box. So I made this thing out of just scrap plywood, and let me just show you what happens. This moves around. That has about that much movement in it. Even though I nailed it up, I put this thing down, and while I have pretty good registration side to side, which is what we see, if we look at this thing, it was poured, there it is, there's the gauge right there, so it was poured just exactly like that. This registration was fine. It was this edge to edge, and you can, I don't know if you can see that, but the box does move a good 1/8 of an inch or more. So this box is going away. I made this today. New box. A little bit heavier material. I screwed it all together instead of being just brad nailed. I put registration keys on all 4 corners. It doesn't come out. I'm going to talc this thing up before I put it back together, just to, or maybe I'll graphite it or something, but so it'll help come out. But this should basically come down in exactly the same spot every time. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to redo this thing. The other thing I did on this one, I did it on the other one sort of, but not as comprehensive. So you can see I put some little ribs down here. If I can get down there where you can see it, little ribs down in here, all the way around, just to keep it aligned and keep it or not keep it aligned, but just to keep the sand from falling out. So let me go ahead and get this put back together. We'll ram her up a third time, and we're gonna try this one more time. All right, so there, there you go. Registration error. The box, I'm still looking at the cheap little box right there. That thing should be smashed up and thrown in the trash. The parts just did not line up. I mean, I rammed them this way and I cast them that way. Use decent registration on your boxes. I realize that what I've got built here is not perfect, and I really don't like it. I don't like the way it fits. I mean, it's sticky and it's hard to get all four things lined up. If only I had a better box. That's a private joke. All right, so let's look at the third one. When the bell actually comes out in this one, the bell will form, but there was a mistake that I need to show you. Okay, let's hope for the best. Fill the base in, keep the sprue running. Oh man, I screwed up. Kids. Now, that was a lesson in exactly not what to do. Keep the basin full, keep the sprue running. Don't stop and start like I just did. That was, God, I can't believe how many bad things I just did right there. Come on. Now there's my sprue. That broke off. Oh, I had, yeah, interesting line right there. Probably where I stopped and started the pour. But it's a whole bell. So we're going to count that good, I think. All right, so let me just, there you saw it. I don't know if you caught that. What happened is I started pouring, it backed up, it filled the basin, and it started coming over the top of the mold. You know, I panicked, I backed away, and then it sucked itself right back down, and I started to catch up, and then it did the same thing, and I did it again. I believe I know why that happened. I'm not 100% on this one, but I'm pretty sure. So let me take you over to the table here, and I'll show you. All right, so this is a mold that I rammed up the other day that, quite frankly, the sand didn't come out of it. So it'll be good for my demonstration, though. So this is the sprue that came off of that last bell pour. A couple things to notice about it. First of all, is it doesn't look real tapered, and that's probably because of the way I ram it or I pull it. I try to twist and just pull as straight as I can, but I know I get some wobble. These little fins, I believe these little fins that you're seeing hanging off the side are just creases or gaps in the sand as I put chunks of sand in there and I ram them up. I think that they're coming together like that, and there's still just a little bit and the metal's flowing in. I think that that's what we're seeing there. But that's not the problem. Can you see that? Let's see. Let me look at my monitor here. You see, I need something to point with. I use the sprue. This is my sprue. This is the end of the sprue here in the sand. It's cast this way. This one's pretty clean. Look at the size difference between this guy and this guy. I believe what happened is, and it's because I've only been yelled at a few times. I probably need to be yelled at a couple of more times. I'm not using a soft artist brush to clean out the base of my sprue. And so the sand is actually kind of coming in inside here. And I really need to be able to just get in there and just kind of, I'll use the word ream it out, but it's, just clean it up, put a little parting dust on there, clean it up so that I don't end up with a tiny, tiny opening on the bottom here. This thing is small. I think that that's a big part of why that thing backed up and didn't flow just evenly. And I'm told, let me bring you back on camera. And I am told, now that we're back, my pouring shank is all, I've been told this multiple times, my pouring shank is all bad, no good, no bueno, and that I need to do a proper shank with a loop on the end of it that I lift it up and I can pour, and I'm pouring from the, I had a video on this, pouring from the middle as opposed to pouring from the top of the thing. And also that I can, because I got all this stuff on top, it's hard for me to see. I don't argue with all that. I really don't. I mean, I probably should do it. But I haven't done that yet. So between the not being able to see great and not having a cleaned out sprue, I think that's what happened on that third one. Anyway, there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed watching me make a fool of myself. make a fool of myself. But I wanted to make sure you knew I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't say that. I think I know. I think I'm starting to learn what I'm talking about. I think I'm getting better at it. But the whole point is we all make mistakes, and I just think if I can show you what I did, maybe it'll help you doing the same thing. You guys have a great day.